Hello, my lovely Clovers. I am the Queen of Clovers. I do prefer QClovers. But welcome, my lovely Aries, to my channel. This is your energy reading. It's going to be for that big full moon energy from June 24th. Still in the air. I'm not going to do much of an introduction. Look for that link in the box below. Ooh, yes, we're already blowing fireworks off in Huntington Beach. Getting ready for 4th of July. But so yeah, look in the box below for that details on the on this full moon energy that's hitting us hard, Aries. I think more masculines feel it than any one particular sign because it's a Capricorn. Super strawberry full moon in Capricorn. It does have to do with the balance of our work life, our work hard, play hard, and then it's Cancer season, so it's going to be about our identity in our home. But this is going to be a 3-spread read. It's going to be an oracle, a tarot, and a cartomancy spread. Everyone's deciding to be really loud, but I'm going to get going soon because they'll just drive off in a bit. All right, Aries, because I'm an Aries and we got a lot going on. I feel this energy in ways that are just kind of shocking. It just feels like it's more about our personal worth and our own sense of personal power. What could you really do if you just did what you could really do? And it's pretty amazing when you really start doing it. So this is the Aries reading. It's for anyone, anybody, and maybe nobody. Cross watchers, welcome. Remember to take what's yours and leave out all the rest. Let's go ahead and start that oracle up. This is the Literary Witches Oracle deck. I just pulled the ingredients. I have the peacock in reverse. Let me also get, I'm going to peek at that in the book because this is a new deck still. And so I'm going to get you a nice clarifying tarot card from the Beautiful Creatures deck. Say hello to my lovely Lucy. She'll show you her tail. She loves me. I don't know why she likes that. I've never met a cat that likes to touch their tail, but she likes when I give her tail. Scoot your boot, monkey. Ooh. The 6 of Cups, the sweet memories. What is this peacock? The peacock is... I know what happens when you are peacocking. That's all I can think about. Splendor, the divine, and craving. Yeah, this is just, and that's in the reverse. I have the peacock here in the reverse. So what I was picking up from this card, and also the 6 of Cups right next to it, is just a lack of absolute magic and happiness in your life. You know, those good memories. I was talking about sometimes when you move on to different areas of your life, we're all transitioning back into a different life, post-pandemic life, and some of it's not even over yet. But when you're transitioning into a new life, sometimes you want things to be a certain way, like when they were really, really good. But it's mostly about rediscovering ourselves, or especially our magical selves, Aries. Aries are magical because we're on fire, and we're lit, and we start things, and we get things going. And this is that feeling like it's just a little bit gone. It's a reaching out for that feeling, no matter how bad it might look. It's just that emptiness from when you used to be a little more magical and a little more bright. I think an Aries would do a lot of things that people think they do it just to be seen. And I think Aries do a lot of things that they would do if nobody was looking. That always surprises people. They would just do it anyway. So what are you not doing? Something is completely missing. Moving on to the tarot. It's definitely adventure is missing. The enthusiasm. Aries don't live like, 24 hours a day, just kind of looking for that balance. We're looking for, the roller coaster ride up and then the roller coaster ride down, and then we nap because we want to get back on that ride and go back up. And when you're just this Knight of Wands, I know it can be about in and out energy and somebody who's just rushing in and rushing out, but it's also about adventure and climbing up on your motorcycle and riding off into the sunset into something more. And that's what you want, because look, you have a 4 of Cups in reverse. It means getting out of that boredom, the doldrums, the waiting for something to happen. waiting perhaps for a reunion to happen, because I do have this Temperance card here. And it could be a Sagittarius in your energy, but it's also no restraint in the reverse. And it's really about just kind of taking the adventures that you haven't been taking, just getting out there maybe. It's not always just adventures. Daring doesn't always involve jumping off a cliff. It can just be, you know, living a little more magical. How many of us have been living in our sweats for a year? And you just, you know, I know it's a little scary to put the jeans on the first time because, yeah, it might be time to work out too, but, you know, you'd be surprised how well they fit considering how much TV and Netflix we've been watching. But more importantly, you're coming out of something, that caught feeling. You're remembering that, you know, adventure isn't about just having a full bank account. If you've forgotten how to live, you know, poor, and I put that in quotations because there are ways you learn to live without money, and exciting ways. And usually you're about 15 or 16 and you don't have a job. But there are ways to be exciting and adventurous, and you're beginning to remember those things. And you don't need these big $1 million vacations. Now, I'm in love with this show Below Deck, and I'm not necessarily as involved in the romances as you think. I love watching the food. I love watching them swim in the water. I love them driving up the coastline. I mean, I want a mega yacht vacation, of course. But, you know, before we have that $250,000 vacation, you know, there's other things that can be done. I can go rent a dinghy right now and just ride out on the Balboa Coast or on the peninsula there. There's other ways to enjoy your dreams in smaller ways, or in just happiness in smaller ways, but they kind of have that big payoff and reward in the end. A lot of it has to do with socializing. I think a lot of Aries miss people, because I have the Three of Cups here, which is, you think it's about love and cheating, but really it's just about people. It's just about being with groups as opposed to just being one-on-one, you know, you're ride or die only. This is about just getting back out there with people. This is just getting out there with people, period. Aries is a little bit lonely. I know I feel lonely sometimes. It's like, why aren't people? I miss my people. I miss my family. You know, we just don't do things. We haven't gotten to that post-pandemic, you know, back to the way things were. At least bringing back the good stuff, right? It's just not there yet. We're almost there, team. And this is total impatience on our part, Aries. We found a way. And this week, in this full moon, is about taking back your power, this need for uncertainty, this need for a little adventure, this need for hitting the gas. This all comes in a way, and I told you, Page of Pentacles, it's in reverse. A little less funding here, a little more aggression here with our Emperor card, our True Power card. So this card here, it's nature bearing its teeth as it's being all us. It's being absolutely wild and free, and I know you like to have those lake vacations, because I like to, and being an Aries too. But then I also have the World card here, which means you found your balance. One of the big messages I got from Spirit pre-full moon that I did in my, you know, pre-full moon explanation of the full moon, link in the box below, my loves. Spirit talked about balance, and not everybody's going to do well with a balanced life. And this card, the World card, is more about harmony with life, because Spirit was like, well, you're never going to be balanced, all right? You're going to be more dependent on taking care of your children, and, you know, when they're small and they're in diapers, they need more attention, and as, you know, they'll need less of that as they age. They'll still need you as a parent, but they're not going to need you to change their diapers and do their laundry and feed them. It's going to be a whole other ballgame, and at that time, it's probably wise that you begin to focus on more personal items. So it's really like the work-life balance doesn't come out to an even 50-50. On the day of your kid's birthday party, you wouldn't give 50% of your attention to work, right? It's that kind of basic logic, basic math of life that basically says sometimes you need that weight of something to hit you and be important and be exciting and be fresh and new and inspiring. And sometimes you need it to be a little bit lighter because you need a nap. And that's really what Spirit is trying to say here, even, is that just because things are the way they are doesn't mean you gotta be that way. There are ways. There are always ways. When my son and I were broke as broke because I was a single mom living with my grandma with nothing, I used to take him down to this pet store with these giant fish, and he used to be able to buy $2 worth of worms that you could drop in there and feed the fish, and he was just so happy. If I took him there and I went and kicked around a ball with him at the park and let him run on the monkey bars, he felt like a really rich kid. He had no clue that things were funny. No clue that we were splitting chicken nuggets. But he was a happy kid. There are things that make you happy too, that are that simple. Alright, this is the love spread. Let's see who's paying attention to you. This person is certain that in choosing you, in setting up their life and choosing you, that they'll be able to release a lot of burdens, and they won't have to live that defensive life. They'll be able to open up their heart to you. Probably one of the deepest things about this person and how they see you and how they feel about you is that they feel like you're the 10 of Cups. You're it. That's it. The only thing they're gonna have to defend against if they nail you, if they bag you, is other people trying to interfere with your lives. And they can do that easily because they adore you. How can you recognize this person? This person could be an air sign. 4 of Wands, is that the marriage card coming out? Right under the 10 of Cups here in this little mini spread that I'm doing. They do feel like you may have rejected them, or you may have rejected the whole idea of long-term marriage. And so when they come in at you, they may seem a little immature, a little Jack of Wands, a little eyebally. They might not talk a lot. They may seem a little heady. They may just spy on you and not approach you for a time, because for some reason they're pretty sure that you would not marry, even though they would put a ring on it with you in a heartbeat, male or female. Yeah, they're going to try and impress you. This is how they're going to come in towards you. They're going to try and impress you by looking strong, and there is no competition. They're going to try and impress you with no competition. They're going to sort of play the long game. So they may be trying to impress you with like their resume. A lot of guys do that, where they're like, oh, by the way, I've paid off half my mortgage. I know it's a really bad example, but you know, one guy used that to try and pick me up, and it was like, that is so bad. So bad. I thought we were adults. I'm an adult. You guys should have learned better by now. But nonetheless, this person's going to take it slow with the Jack of Wands. The Knight of Wands is the slowest moving knight in the deck. I mean, yeah, they're spying, and this Jack of Wands tells me, but, you know, I was listening to Matt Boggs, a lovely YouTuber, and he basically said, the slower a man moves, the more he has to lose. That means if a man is moving slow, it means you have his attention in long-term ways. And he's going to show you that he's pretty much number one. There's going to be no way you can pick anybody else based on this lovely resume he's going to put out there for you. And then he's going to sweep you off your feet. This definitely feels like a masculine-feminine relationship. Could just be, you know, whatever. But it could either go either way. But this person is going to try and sweep you off your feet with just... like, why would you choose anybody else? They're sure they're cut above the rest of everyone else. They're sure you're wonderful. They're sure you're honest. They're sure they find you very sexy, very valuable. High value woman is how this person sees you, or man. But basically, they just, they figure the best way to catch your attention is to match your energy or match your value, so that you'll notice them, because then you'll be on the same level, right? And because you'll never look at the other competition. It's actually very sweet if you think about it. I'm an Aries, so of course I'd be swept off my feet. And I'm really not against marriage, but I think I've put off the vibe that I wouldn't ever get married again. I wouldn't do it the same way. I'll give him that. Aries may say things a little too firmly that they don't really mean about themselves too. So don't take us too seriously, because I may not get married again, but if somebody really worth marrying comes along, then why not? There's nothing to lose, right? But then maybe I shouldn't be with somebody if I don't think. You see? Got me thinking. But let's move on, because this is all about getting swept off your feet by somebody with quite a resume. I should do a little video on male resumes, because as in masculines, how they flirt, especially long game, Jack of Pence. Yeah, it's all about the resume, and it's cute, but it's really not that effective if you don't know what you're doing. So, but they're going to sweep you off your feet. You're not even going to know. They're going to keep putting these hints out there, how great they are and how, they're cut above the rest, because they can do that, because they really are. And they're pretty sure you're going to pick nobody else. And you're going to just turn to them one day and be like, oh my gosh, you are pretty cool. And that's when they're going to be like, whoop, I'm sweeping you off your feet now, because I think you're cool too. All right, my loves. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, Aries. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, tip, or donate. Look in the box below for those timestamps on these oracle readings, on the Oracle Tarot and CartomancyLove spread readings. So you can go back and listen to whichever one you prefer. And I will check back with you next week when we start getting ready for the next new moon. Have a great week.